2 years ago, I won this primary with 73% of the vote. I could easily have done the same again. The path was clear. But it would have required that I go along with President Trump's lie about the 2020 election. That was a path I could not and would not take. The great and original champion of our party, Abraham Lincoln, was defeated in elections for the Senate and the House before he won the most important election of all. Lincoln ultimately prevailed, he saved our Union, and he defined our obligation as Americans for all of history.
Joining me now, Donald Trump Jr., founder of Minute by Minute News. Okay, Donald, explain this to me, because I've always found it to be odd. All right, Liz Cheney doesn't like your dad. Okay. But this never-ending quest to get rid of him by the Bush-Cheney cabal has always been so weird to me. Where does this axe to grind come from? I've never gotten it.
Yeah, I don't really know, but I imagine it's like the rest of sort of the Washington establishment. You know, they see Trump as the only real threat to the hegemony that they've had for decades now. And you look at that dynasty and, you know, Liz Cheney, she can lose by 40 points and she can then liken herself to both Lincoln and Grant, which is truly a level of hubris I haven't seen in a while, Jesse. I'm not quite sure where she gets this, but, you know, it doesn't stop them. It doesn't stop them, but I guess that's what happens when you sort of listen to CNN and their version of what it is to be a Republican. I guess she starts believing those things and thinking she's an incredible conservative, and since she hasn't lived in Wyoming in probably ever, maybe that's why she could lose so badly in her supposed home state.
Just so everyone knows, I know Donald Jr. knows this, but a non-interventionist foreign policy is what the entire country was founded on, right? So it's very odd, this Bush-Cheney people claiming that their way is the American way. It's very much not the American way, but she did have something interesting to say about a possible run for president, and once I got done laughing, I actually got concerned. This was her.
Are you considering running for president yourself?
I will be doing whatever it takes to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office.
Well, I know you didn't say yes or no, and that's fine if you're thinking about it, but are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about running for president?
That's a decision that I'm going to make in the coming months, Savannah. I'm not going to make any announcements here this morning, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and I'll make a decision in the coming months.
I actually don't know which one of those two hags I hate more, but beyond that, it did concern me because, look, I'm not worried that Liz Cheney's going to beat your dad in a primary. That's obviously not a concern that you probably have either. I am, however, worried these people are going to take this personal axe to grind and raise $200-300 million and just spend every dime of it trying to kneecap your father as he makes another run if he ends up making one. Did that cross your mind?
Yeah, listen, I think it's sort of the perpetual grift of that. You know, she's sort of simultaneously auctioning for the fake conservative role at CNN while simultaneously looking for the board seat at Raytheon, and then she can follow the path of Joe Walsh for the Joe Walsh lane for the Republican nomination for the presidency. I mean, it is one big grift. I think the reality, you know, she's so unlikable. There's so few Republicans that would actually vote for her. I think she likely, if she actually went and tried to run as an independent, probably draws more votes from a Joe Biden than she actually would a Donald Trump, because she's so far away from the Republican side. So the whole notion of her being sort of a spoiler actually doesn't really concern me all that much, and I have thought about it.